It's a case that remains top of mind for the Claremont community almost 40 years later. The conviction of two men who beat, then killed Claremont police chief at the time, Greg Lang. Our Sananda McCall reminds us of the details of this tragic story and why both family and law enforcement say they need to continue the fight for Lang. Sananda?
Well, Cammie, Claremont Police Chief Gregory Lang was tragically shot and killed on July 5th, 1988, while attempting to break up a domestic dispute just steps away from his own home. The 39-year-old had only served in Claremont for 2.5 years, but was well loved in the community.
Before Greg's murder, it had been since the early 1900s since we've had an officer that was shot and killed.
Police Chief Gregory Lang was beaten by two brothers while responding to a domestic disturbance at 2 a.m. The shooter, Andrew Salinas, was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. His brother was sentenced to 18.5 years.
Andrew Salinas sentenced this family to life without a dad, without a father, without a hero.
And now a fifth parole hearing is scheduled for the killer on April 11th.
This family goes through all these emotions over and over again every time a parole hearing comes up.
The back and forth comes down to the Minnesota law. First-degree murders weren't mandatory life sentences without parole until 1993. Chief Rose has been working with Sue, Greg's wife, and the family to oppose Salinas' paroles. Rose even produced a letter.
Greg was a friend of my father's. My dad was a deputy here. And Dad was one of the deputies who extradited the two brothers back from Missouri.
And since then, Chief Lang's legacy has impacted Dodge County law enforcement, from deputies wearing a black memorial pin in his honor to recognizing him on squad vehicles, and even changing how officers respond to domestic disturbance calls, now having two responding officers.
Our deputies and our law enforcement here in this county really think about the reality of their position.
Now, Greg Lang is one of 4 fallen officers in Dodge County. His name currently sits among the 4 at the recently built Southeast Minnesota Law Enforcement Memorial at Soldiers Field in Rochester. Cammie?
All right, Sananda, thank you. The Lang family is asking that you submit your thoughts on Salinas' parole in writing to the Minnesota Department of Corrections. Letters must be submitted by March 21st. More information is available on our website. That's KIMT.com.